On the day of Long Ming's 10-million-year-old birthday, the late Golden Finger chat group was launched, devouring an unknown region in the starry world. Ding! Welcome to join the eternal chat group of the heavens. Ding! You have automatically become the group leader of 777444. Entering the group chat and automatically becoming the group leader, Long Mingle is happy, the eternal chat group of the heavens. Late little spicy chicken. Ding! You have joined the chat group with the path to death, a supernatural mechanic, the most divine loser in the known universe, and the strongest 5 girls in the universe. Keywords of the novel. Absurd, I have become immortal. You only came to the chat group without pop-ups. Absurd, I have become immortal. You came to the chat group to download the complete text. Absurd, I have become immortal. You came to the latest chapter to read. Chapter 1. Eternal Chat Group of Various Heavens. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 Eternal Chat Group of Various Heavens. Ding! Welcome to join the Eternal Chat Group of the Heavens. Ding! You have automatically become the group leader of 777444. Who? The sudden voice startled Long Ming, and a raging spirit emerged from his body, and his figure disappeared from the room. In the next moment, the figure of Long Ming appeared in the outer space of the 13th cantilever of the Central Star River. His sudden outburst of consciousness made everyone on the recent planet of Emperor Machio feel boundless oppression, and a sense of panic filled everyone. Machio Star, the capital star of the Sun-Moon Empire. The mountains and seas are lush, towering and vast. The sea of clouds is like a tide, stacked layer by layer. The sea of clouds is continuous, and the azure sky and white clouds complement each other. The sunlight shines through the gaps in the clouds, shining the entire mountain range with golden light, like a fairyland. In the air, spaceships and floating islands are arranged side by side. The imperial palace is built grandly and continuously along the mountain, with varying climates within a day and between palaces. Today is the day for the celebration of the 10-million-year-old birthday of the Holy Lord of the Empire. With the arrival of the celebration, the once peaceful imperial capital star is now bustling with guests. Anyone who can step into the imperial capital star today is either wealthy or noble. The silk and bamboo fairy dances around the beam, and the entire planet is filled with a festive atmosphere. Due to being swept away by the aura of the dragon's roar just now, everyone is now speculating who dared to touch the mold of the Holy Lord. In the universe, Long Ming quickly scanned a range of over 100 light-years with his divine mind. But they all got nothing. Eternal Chat Group of the Heavens. Long Ming withdrew his mind, his eyes flashing with brilliance. With a big wave of his hand, he blocked the defense and detection equipment of the nearby empire. Bang! Without any hesitation, Long Ming chose to self-destruct. The power of self-explosion dissipated all the gas and dust in the dark nebula he was in. After a few breaths, the figure of Long Ming reappeared. Is it a necessary golden finger for travelers? Long Ming looked at the thing he had left after self-destructing, and the familiar interface reminded him of memories from his past life. 777,443 group members. Over 700,000 members. There's something in this group. Fried dough twists Tang is so powerful. Its business has expanded to other countries. The chat group interface opens, showing that only oneself is online. Regardless, Long Ming decides to take the initiative to explore. Self-explosive maniac. Is anyone there? What? Damn it, Long Ming looked at his group nickname and was furious. You're just self-destructing, your whole family is self-destructing. I really hold grudges, isn't it just about blowing you up once? Besides, the self-destructing divine power clone is one's own move. Okay, spicy chicken group. With a small shake of his hand, he changed his nickname back. Continue to focus back on the chat group. Long Ming. The avatar is all black and not online. I hope this broken chat group is useful to me. In the universe, Long Ming waited for a long time, but no one in the chat group replied. As the celebration time approaches, Long Ming closed the chat group interface, stopped waiting, and teleported back to Macho Star. As soon as I returned, I saw the panicked people and didn't show up to explain anything. With a sudden movement of my mind, I asked the high-ranking officials of the Empire to go and comfort them. Afterwards, I returned to my previous room. Previously disturbed by the divine power of Long Ming, everything was restored in an orderly manner after a brief explanation from the imperial leadership. But there were still many guests gathered together, discussing the recent matter. What happened just now? That aura was so terrifying. That aura is definitely the Holy Lord, and only the Holy Lord can have such a powerful aura. Indeed, when was the last time the Lord made a public appearance? The time I annihilated the Dark Cloud Galaxy 500,000 years ago, my great-grandfather had the privilege of following the Lord in battle. The topic was successfully skewed, and the speaker had a proud expression on their face. Others also cast envious glances. Being able to follow the Holy Lord in battle is an unparalleled honor. After a compliment, everyone continued their discussion. Do you know why the 10th anniversary of the Holy Lord's birth is so grand? I don't know. The Empire has decorated all the billions of life planets in the Central Star River, and I guess there is also a special reason. Don't be too presumptuous, speak quickly. It is said that the reason for this grand occasion is. The person stood up and glanced left and right, then sat down again and spoke in a low voice. It is said that the Holy Lord has become extraordinary and wants to marry. Before he could finish speaking, he was greeted by a group of righteous thugs who were running trains with their mouths full. After Hai flattened this guy, everyone stopped talking about what had happened before and dispersed in a flurry. Deep in the palace, there is an elegant room. The window of the room is adorned with gorgeous silk curtains embroidered with exquisite floral patterns. Through the tent, a gentle breeze blows, bringing a refreshing aroma. In the room, Long Ming, who had just returned, sat cross-legged on an unknown animal skin throne. His face is sacred and radiant. Surrounded by boundless momentum, as if the sun, moon, and stars were accompanying each other, the rich law atmosphere surged and filled the entire room. This little guy, is there such a arrangement for our ancestors? Let's see if our ancestors can give you some rewards. Long Ming, dressed in a dark robe on his throne, opened his eyes and lightly flicked his fingers, shooting a stream of light towards the younger generation who had just said he was going to marry. That is the illusion he weaves countless ugly women casually. Only by marrying an ugly woman 100,000 times can he break through the illusion, which is enough for that little guy to hone for a period of time. Humph, our ancestors are so stingy. In the palace side hall, a group of people wearing sacrificial robes are making final preparations. The preparations for the celebration are proceeding in an orderly manner. At this moment, the 530th Emperor of the Empire, Long Bo, sat on the throne, listening to the report. Your Majesty's hour has arrived, and the Holy Lord has also returned. Okay, everyone, please come with me to invite the Lord. After speaking, Long Bo stood up and took the lead in leaving the Yellow Palace. A group of people had a huge amount of soup and soon arrived at Long Ming's resting place. Congratulations to the Holy Lord. Congratulations to the Holy Lord. The sound of a dragon closing its eyes in the room, listening to the shouting outside, suddenly appeared in front of everyone as it opened its eyes. Glancing at the leading emperor, he nodded and said, the grandson of Dragon War. It's great that the domain master has reached his peak. Upon receiving praise from the holy ancestor, Long Bona's somewhat innocent face smiled so hard that he couldn't even see his teeth. The rest of the people were also very excited, looking at the majestic figure of the Holy Lord. Even though they were high-ranking officials in the empire, many people still had never seen the Holy Lord himself. After all, not everyone is qualified to listen to the teachings of the Lord. Now that I see it, the fervor in my eyes is hard to conceal. There is only one thought left in my heart, and I will die without regret. Only as high-ranking officials of the Empire know that the celebration of the 10-million-year-old birthday of the Holy Lord is secondary. Celebrating the Holy Lord's ascension to immortality and becoming an eternal powerhouse is the most important thing. Suppressing his excitement, Longbow took a step forward and took the lead in flying up. The group, with their cultivation in mind, arrived at the official venue of the celebration in no time. The Great Plain of Jojo. Everything is ready, and with the nod of Long Ming, the celebration officially begins. By the grace of the Holy Lord, we have established the Empire's Longxing Daoist Temple, which is open to all members of the Empire. Anyone who can cultivate a genius to join the temple will be rewarded with a bottle of purple crystal jade liquid. As Longbow said the last item, the entire Empire boiled. All the young people were eager to try. Previously, the Dragon Ting Dao Chang, Jade Dragon Dao Chang, and Sun Moon Dao Chang of the Empire were collectively known as the three great Dao Chang of the Empire, which continued to cultivate countless talents for the Empire. Imperial citizens were eager to enter even after squeezing their heads. The addition of Longxing Dao Chang now means more opportunities. How can they not be excited? Many of the wealthy families are even rubbing their hands and rewarding a bottle of amethyst jade liquid, which can make the universe level 100% advance to the domain master level with just one drop. Crossing the universe level to the domain master level is not only an increase in strength, but also a 10-fold increase in lifespan from the 10th century to the 100th century. Moreover, if there is a domain lord in the family, one can still receive rewards from the Empire. The reward of the Empire is at least one star system genus. Wealth, power. At this moment, countless family leaders turned red-eyed. In the subsequent celebration, Long Ming also took the stage and delivered several encouraging speeches, and then returned to the lounge early. The remaining people are still reveling. Long Ming leaned against the cushion in the room, studying chat groups. Because just now there was a reaction in the chat group. No one in the group replied to him. But the chat group has prompts. Ding. Did you spend a certain amount of lifespan to activate the chat group function? Open it. Ding. The host's lifespan is 100 years, and the chat group function has been loaded. Ding. You can invite group members by consuming longevity yuan, and the invited members are random. Looking at these two prompts, Long Ming was a bit speechless. The group leaders who are currently on the member list seem to have been sucked away by Shou Yuan. Long Ming thought to himself, are you also a link of light in the chat group, strangling generation after generation? More than 700,000 people, and quite a few have been strangled. Silence. After some research, it was found that chat groups have also added some new functions, but these functions need to be activated and used by group members. Long Ming easily cleared the group member list with just one click. After the group members die, the chat group cannot link to their world, so it is useless to keep them. If this broken chat group had been activated earlier and consumed longevity yuan by attracting people, he might still have some difficulties. As for now consuming longevity yuan, now he is most afraid of consuming longevity yuan. Long Ming pressed the pull group member button on the chat group interface. Ding. Consume 100,000 years of lifespan yuan, search for group members that meet the requirements, search successful. The supernatural Ji Jisher joins the Eternal Chat Group. You have joined the Eternal Chat Group with the way to take death. The strongest 5 girls in the universe join the Eternal Chat Group. The most divine loser in the known universe joins the chat group. Consumed 100,000 life yuan and recruited 4 group members at once, which is not bad. Just looking at the nickname, I'm not sure who it is. I hope you are some useful people. Without anyone involved in the group, Long Ming started researching the functions of chat groups. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. You have a path to death. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. You have a path to death crossing the endless sea of chaos, the distant star of Doluo. Shenjie, Shenwang Temple. Tang San, the Divine King, had just intervened in the affairs of the next term and sat on the Divine King's throne, satisfied with the fruit handed over by the Divine Attendant, squinting his eyes to enjoy the fresh breeze from the Divine Realm. At this moment, a warning sound rang in his mind. Ding! You have received an invitation from the Eternal Chat Group. Whether to join. Warning. There are certain risks in this group, please act within your capacity. Any consequences caused by members joining the group will be borne by yourself, and this group will not be responsible. Eternal Chat Group of the Heavens. The voice sounded directly in Tang San's mind, which made him somewhat suspicious. His first idea was who dared to tease him as the Divine King. Shua. The soul power exclusively belonging to Tang San was released, and the ultimate soul power was released with the God King Hall as the core, covering an area of 500 meters. It was scanned back and forth several times. However, they achieved nothing. Is it the hand of the evil soul master, who dares to violate the majesty of the Divine King? Tang San's face turned black. He couldn't even investigate the details of this eternal chat group. Humph, no matter who you are, you already have a way to die. Tang San's eyebrows and eyes twisted and he was angry and anxious. He wanted to see who was playing tricks on him and directly chose to join the group. The Eternal Chat Group, with his status as a Divine King, is the most suitable one to join. Let him see, these chat groups also deserve to be called eternal to him. The world of supernatural mechanics. Chat groups. Interesting. Technician Han didn't expect that he had just finished harvesting a wave of leaks and was about to compete for the Super A level when he received an invitation from the Eternal Chat Group. He already has golden fingers, and having such a chat group makes him feel incredibly novel. The name, Eternal Heaven, may sound domineering, but even the pinnacle of the A. level cannot achieve immortality. Without hesitation, Technician Han immediately agreed to join. Of course, having more golden fingers is beneficial, and having more oil is not harmful. Marvel World. The Temple Spacecraft. On the control room throne, there is a massive and majestic presence, tall and strong in stature. His body is covered with sturdy muscles and thick armor, emitting a powerful aura. His skin is deep purple with a metallic luster, as if cast from hard stones. This person is the famous director of the Cosmic Family Planning Commission, Purple Potato Spirit Mieba. Regularly eliminate half of life, and the universe will be considered eternal. Mieba spoke confidently. There are only 2 infinite gemstones missing, and he already has the last 2 gemstones falling. Not long after, he will be able to achieve his ideals and eliminate half of the life in the universe. The will of the universe, he is the mandate of heaven. In the chat group of Zhu Tian, an inexplicable expression flashed in the eyes of Miebao. You can easily click to join. The universe of the supernatural seminary. In a daze, Gu Xiaoluan heard the invitation from the chat group and thought it was sent by a brother from Xiongbing Company. Without much thought, he agreed to join. Gu Xiaoluan only realized after agreeing. Looking at the familiar chat group interface in front of me, I felt a bit confused. Can't help but think, is old Ma's skills so impressive? Or is this extraterrestrial technology? The supercomputers at the super seminary also have no reminders or issues. That's okay. Although Gu Xiaoluan is a bit silly, he is not foolish either. Glancing at the group name and the 3 people who joined the group together. Say hello first. The most divine loser in the known universe. Hello everyone, nice to meet everyone. If Xiao Xian, one of the 3 lowly guests, sees Gu Xiaoluan's ancient group chat greetings, there must be an honest person here. Hurry up and bully him together. Gu Xiaoluan looked at his nickname and his old face turned red. He knew the most divine loser in the universe. Isn't that what he said during his morning conversation with Lena? Click on the chat group interface now and quickly change the nickname. Gu Xiaoluan. Where are people? What about the brothers who joined the group together? Speak up. Han Xiao. Here, hello brother. Technician Han discovered that his nickname was not right when he first joined the group, and he changed it a long time ago. What kind of mechanic is it? It's just a mechanic. Han Xiao. At Gu Xiaoluan, where are you from, brother? Han Xiao said, at Destroy Ba, at God King Tang, why don't you guys talk? Technician Han doesn't have a group leader, so someone who can be the eternal chat group leader of the heavens doesn't seem easy to deal with. The divine King Tang San said, Mortal, who is your brother? I am the divine King Tang San of the Dolua divine realm. Han Xiao, dot. Gu Xiaoluan. Dot. Mia Ba. Dot. Who is so special, so easy to pretend, I really want to beat him up. This is the voice of the three people. Annihilation. At Gu Xiaoluan, at Han Xiao, I am Titan Annihilation. Miaba politely introduced himself, and like Han Xiao, he calmly changed his nickname back. How could the Grand Universe Emperor be the five girls? As for the arrogant Tang San, the Divine King. Will the Universe Emperor be afraid of him? Gu Xiaoluan and Han Xiao looked at the three characters of Titan and remembered the introduction of the chat group, linking to the heavens and worlds. Both of them have seen aliens and are not surprised by this. Gu Xiaoluan. Let me reintroduce, Gu Xiaoluan, the blue star man of the Chiwu stellar system. Han Xiao. Let me reintroduce again, blue star man Han Xiao, an ordinary mechanic. Gu Xiaoluan. Brother Han Xiao, you are also a blue star person. What era is it on your end? I was here in 2016. Seeing Han Xiao's self-introduction, Gu Xiaoluan was greatly surprised. Can he be considered a fellow villager? Han Xiao. In 2050, we should not be in the same world. On the other side of the screen, Mia Ba was also surprised. If he remembered correctly, there was also a place called Blue Star on his side, which Asgard called Midgard in the courtyard. And the news he received, the last two gemstones fell on Blue Star. Asgard Odin and Earth Guardian Gu, one or two old things, have all returned home. It's time to go and retrieve the last gemstone. With this in mind, Mia Ba closed the group chat and ordered to the nearby Ebony Throat, go to Blue Star and bring back the last two gemstones. Ebony Throat and the other four generals knelt down on one knee and responded, yes. Watching the few subordinates leave, Mia Ba also reopened the group chat. Gu Xiaoluan and Han Xiao are still chatting. Immediately, he also joined in. After all, getting familiar with each other is the best way to gather information. Tang San, who had been studying diving for a while and chatting in groups, although he still didn't understand, his intuition told him that it was a good thing. With a strong desire for possession in the heart, good things should belong to the Divine King. Tang San, the Divine King, said, Mortal, what is the use of this chat group? Quickly talk to this Divine King. Of course, Han Xiao and the others ignored this foolish fork and continued to chat on their own. Seeing no one paying attention to him, Tang San was very angry. Humph, mortal beings, you already have a way to die. This Divine King can turn you into ashes with just a blue silver cage. When the Divine King is angry, there are tens of thousands of floating corpses. Humph, the person with that yellow name who never speaks should be the initiator. The Divine King Tang San said, at Longming, are you playing with this Divine King as a mortal? God King Tang San said, hand over the chat group to my God King. Once I am satisfied, I don't mind giving you a third-level divine position. God King Tang San. If not, you already have a way to take death. Tang San's words shocked the group of three chatting, as they had never seen such a shameless person before. Not only shameless, but also very arrogant. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Jumping Joker. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 3 Jumping Joker. In the room, Long Ming was studying the chat group function when he suddenly saw someone at him. Put down your research and open the chat group panel. Quickly glanced at the chat records of several people. This awakened distant memories of his past life. That's right, in his past life, Long Ming was a traveler. 10 million years ago, he inexplicably crossed the blue star and regenerated the primitive humans on the central Milky Way planet Macho. You heard me right, it's just a primitive person who starves 9 times in 3 days. Faced with the uncertain days, Long Ming did not complain or be discouraged, because he firmly believed that this world could be cultivated through time travel and rebirth. So he kept trying to cultivate based on the novels he had read in his past life. In the end, hard work pays off for those who have a heart, and he succeeded. He successfully drew a thread of energy from the void of the universe. No one taught, everything was slowly groped over by the blind man crossing the river. From apprentice level, planetary level, stellar level, cosmic level, domain master level, and realm master level. Take one step at a time. 10,000 years ago, when Long Ming was practicing, Fuji's soul entered an epiphany. With the blessing of epiphany, he successfully understood the 5 lower primordial laws of gold, wood, water, fire, and earth, and was recognized by the upper primordial laws to comprehend the profound meaning of teleportation. Finally, 1,000 years ago, he was successfully promoted to the immortal level. Or directly to the immortal king. As the deadline approached, I got rid of the problem of lifespan and couldn't help feeling excited for a moment. I was overjoyed and shared this news with 2 younger generations who came to pay their respects. The result was obvious that those 2 younger generations did not keep it confidential. After returning, they revealed the news to the high-ranking officials of the empire. When the high-ranking officials received the news, they were naturally very excited and immediately decided to hold a grand celebration to celebrate the immortal promotion of their ancestors and the birth of 10 million years old. Through the combination of the two, this has led to the exaggerated celebration actions of future generations. The billions of life planets on the central star river have been decorated, and they are truly the black sheep go back to the present. Long Ming looked at the chat group, including Marvel's Annihilation, Han Xiao from the Super God Mechanist, Gu Xiaoluan from the Super God Academy, and Tang San from Dolua Xiaolu. Oh, they are all acquaintances. Looking at the nicknames of the few people who joined the group, Long Ming couldn't help but smile. It was indeed a spicy chicken chat group. What can't I do? I'll take the first place with a nickname. It seems that my self-destructive maniac is still good. Well, Tang San at himself. After reading Tang San's speech, Long Ming's face turned a bit dark, really arrogant. Ding! The divine King Tang San has been banned from speaking for 24 hours. Shu Tan, permission dogs are comfortable. Take care of him when you have time. Long Ming. Hello everyone, it seems that everyone accepts the chat group. Han Xiao, Gu Xiaoluan, and Mieba said, hello group leader. Seeing Tang San being banned from speaking, the 3 of them felt inexplicably relieved at first. Then I watched Long Ming speak again and instantly understood that it was the group leader who banned the goods. Immediately, they all spoke and said hello one by one. Long Ming said, since everyone has introduced themselves, let me tell you too. Long Ming said, I, Macho Xinglong Ming, am a blue star traveler. At Gu Xiaoluan at Han Xiao, although not the same blue star as you two, can also be considered half a fellow villager. Long Ming did not conceal his identity as a traveler, and he is not from the same world. There is no need to conceal anything. At the same time, this is also his confidence in his own strength. Transcender, upon seeing these 3 words, Gu Xiaoluan and the others all felt something special, especially Han Xiao, who was reborn in Starry Sea, and could be considered a traveler. He was actually banned from speaking, unable to angrily peek at Tang San on the screen. With a thump in his heart, he stole treasures from his sect in his past life, committed suicide by jumping off a cliff, and was reborn. This is the biggest secret of his life. He didn't expect this so-called group leader to be the same as him. At this moment, he seemed to have the illusion of being stripped naked. Why does he dare to reveal his identity? Add the phrase, walk through, to the forbidden words. Tang San, who was burning with anger in the Divine King Hall, had a visibly blackened face. Humph. This person already has a way to take death. If we can meet, let him eat a Buddha anger Tang lotus. Forcefully restrain your anger and continue to peep the screen. Gu Xiaoluan. Boss, do you seem to know us from your tone? Han Xiao. Zhu Tian, information, I understand. Mia Ba. Dot. Gu Xiaoluan. Dot. Long Ming said, ha ha ha, it's not bad. Talking to smart people is simple. Han Xiaoyu might as well explain it to the two of them. In the resting room of the palace, Long Ming laughed heartily, which was really good. It's not in vain that he spent 100,000 yuan to join the group. At present, among the 4 people he has joined the group, Han Xiao has the highest IQ. No wonder he can turn the players around and cut the leaks one wave after another. In the future, Han Xiao will also have the highest achievement. Han Xiao said, since that's the case, let me share my opinion. Han Xiao said, if I'm not mistaken, we are all characters from a certain fantasy work. Han Xiao. Master, what I said is absolutely right. Long Ming said, it's truly Han Xiao, not at all. Gu Xiaoluan. What, are we fake? Han Xiao said, brother, don't you know if you're fake? I never doubt that I'm a flesh and blood person. Long Ming nodded, Han Xiao was right, a life of 10 million years. He fought all the way from Machio Star, spending millions of years to bring all the galaxies within a range of billions of light-years into the Sun and Moon Empire under his command. How could all of this be fake again? Although Miaba didn't speak, Han Xiao's words really shocked him. At that moment, Han Xiao continued to speak. Han Xiao said, it should be information from the world we live in, captured by other worlds, forming fantasy works. Long Ming said, Han Xiao understands very thoroughly, so you don't have to worry too much. Being is reasonable. Long Ming. This is my fantasy work about you in my past life. After Long Ming finished speaking, he uploaded the corresponding works of the 3, and set them to only be viewed by himself. Although I can be like those novels I have read in my past life, being a prophet in the group and deceiving others. But Long Ming doesn't want to do this. It's meaningless to deceive ants and pretend to be coerced, while deceiving strong people to pretend to be clowns is equivalent to death. Although, so far, Long Ming has not found any help from the few people in the group. But this was only the first time he had recruited a group member, and apart from the mouse feces mentioned in the ban, the quality was still very good. Especially Han Xiao, there is always a possibility of cooperation in the future. Gu Xiaoluan seems to be quite good at using dark energy and celestial computing. If he were to destroy the tyrant, he seemed to remember that the infinite gem would be unusable in the universe. Forget it, whatever you want. Long Ming saw that the 3 of them were all reading their respective works and stopped talking. He also re-studied the newly activated functions of the chat group. It's like some divine king has been forgotten by him. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Chat Group Function. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Chat Group Function Dolua Xiaolu Divine Realm. Death. 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 Damn mortals, dare not bully this divine king. The divine king Tang San saw that he had been ignored, and the anger in his heart could not be louder. Angered to the extreme, 10 soul rings appeared and spun rapidly around him. Chaos Cloak. Ah. Summoning the Haotian bamboo shoot hammer, he twisted his body a few times and then suddenly threw it towards the outside of the temple. The divine attendants waiting outside the temple felt that the sky was collapsing and they were under immense pressure, almost suffocating. The divine king is angry again, go and invite him. However, before the divine attendant could finish speaking, a hammer flew over. Bang! The divine attendant was smashed off the spot and disappeared without a trace. The other divine attendants were greatly frightened and fled from the God King Hall in all directions. They only have one idea in their hearts, to quickly find the God King's friend and the God King's wife. Now only they can calm the anger of the God King. In the God King's palace, a pillar was broken into 3 pieces, and the anger of the God King is evident. After dozens of minutes of smashing, Tang San's anger softened a lot and his rationality regained a bit. Unable to bear the discomfort, reopen the chat group. As soon as I opened it, I saw the big time travel button in the chat group. He clicked a few times, but it indicated insufficient points. After spending half an hour, Tang San finally understood what points were. Points are the currency of chat groups, and there are many ways to obtain points. The simplest one is check.in, which can be done once a day in the group and earn points randomly. Secondly, pawned items and uploaded items will also be rewarded with points. Very good, when the Divine King accumulates enough points, it will be your end. Tang San looked at Long Ming's yellow name and said with hatred. It only takes 1,000 points to cross over. Sign in. God King Tang San successfully signs in, rewards 1 point. What? Why is there only 1 point? He saw that each check.in can randomly earn 1.100 points. Humph. Another confrontation with this divine king. Great, you also have a way to take death in the eternal chat group of the heavens. Tang San's heart was filled with disdain. Since the check.in points are low, then let the divine king show mercy and pawn it as a divine artifact. Thinking of this, Tang San took out a long spear, which was a divine tool he had recently personally killed disobedient deities. Submit the artifact spear to the pawn window. Item. Soul Devouring Spear. Grade. Ordinary grade. Value. With the blessing of faith, it is worth 1 point. What? Tang San's face turned pale with iron. How could a divine artifact be an ordinary product, and only worth such a little points? Tang San was very unhappy and couldn't help but curse loudly. It must be this broken chat group that has been hacked. Subsequently, several artifacts and pawns were exchanged, but the displayed value was still only 1 throw, chicken shred, and points. Gu Xiaoluan successfully signs in and rewards 66 points. Han Xiao successfully signs in, rewards 73 points. Successfully sign in to defeat the boss, reward 42 points. At this moment, the chat group suddenly received 3 consecutive messages. The attendance point rewards of Han Xiao and his 3 companions undoubtedly filled the mockery. Tang San, who was already furious, couldn't hold his tension anymore and his soul power was once again unleashed uncontrollably. Let's not worry about Tang San, who is incompetent and furious. Turn your gaze back to Longming's side. He was previously studying the functions of chat groups, but was interrupted by Tang San at halfway through. After re-studying, he finally understood all the functions activated after he added people to the chat group. Firstly, there are restrictions on attracting people to join the group, and each time a person is recruited, they need to be charged. The charging time is currently unknown. Pulling people to consume longevity yuan is only used as a key to activate functions. Secondly, points are the currency of chat groups, allowing you to purchase items and travel through other worlds in the group mall. There are various ways to obtain points, including but not limited to checking in, pawning, and uploading items. Just now, when he uploaded records of the works of Gu Xiaoluan and the 3 of them, the chat group rewarded him with 99 points. The first-time group member benefits download these works for free. Transactions between group members also require deduction of transaction fees. Thirdly, the chat group challenges the secret realm and rewards points for each level passed. The items mentioned earlier in the group mall are linked to the number of levels passed, and the items that can be purchased at different levels are different. Mall items will refresh at intervals. Now Longming has not yet passed the level, so his shopping interface has only a few useless items. Fourthly, the chat group can be upgraded, currently at level 1, with a maximum capacity of 5 members. The chat group wants to upgrade, relying on group members to consume points and pass levels, as well as other factors. Fifth, the martial arts arena can be opened by spending points, allowing for mirror challenges and group members to exchange and learn from each other. The opening and consumption points of different levels of martial arts arenas vary. Sixth, group owner and group management privileges, as well as chat group upgrade privileges, will also increase. First level chat group, where the group leader earns a 10% bonus points and manages the group at 5%. Shopping in the mall offers a 10% discount for group owners and a 5% discount for group management. There are many functions, big and small, such as varying time flow rates among group members, but currently the most important ones are these 6. From these functions, chat groups are more like a sect. The chat function is a communication platform for sect disciples, the mall is a sect treasure trove, and the secret realm is a place to experience and cultivate disciples. Just like its name suggests, the purpose is to cultivate eternal members of the heavens. And he is a proxy master. Thinking of this, Longming couldn't help but furrow his brows. This chat group was very similar to the groups in the novels he had seen in his past life, but there was a vague feeling that couldn't be described. Just as the dragon's thoughts were drifting. Located trillions of light-years away from the central Milky Way. The universe here is empty within a range of billions of light-years. Silent and profound. Suddenly, a space that was originally dimly lit by stars appeared like a disturbed lake, rippling. As the ripples rose, the space suddenly emitted a colorful black light. Gradually, the ripples turned into raging waves. In just a few breaths, after the raging waves, the space returned to its former calm. Just then, a bright silver shuttle appeared out of nowhere, apparently emerging from the space that had just been disturbed. Inside the shuttle, more than a dozen oddly shaped creatures sat in 2 rows on the seats. The monsters saw the shuttle withdraw from the dark space flight and looked up at the ferocious monster in the main seat above. Big brother, this place is so desolate. Have we escaped? Yes, big brother. It seems like I haven't seen any pursuers in these 1,000 years. Damn the Water Moon clan, they have been chasing us for 20,000 years. They just ate his 2 descendants, as for that, damn the Water Moon clan. The main leader monster listened to the chatter of more than 10 subordinates and ignored them. He glanced at the intelligent prompt of the flying shuttle indicating the discovery of the starry sky ahead and did not hesitate to stand up and give orders. We can't relax. Those Water Moon clans have been chasing us for 20,000 years. To avoid accidents, we need to continue moving forward. Big Brother has given orders, and there is nothing to say about the dozen or so monsters below. The only thing they can survive for so long is Big Brother. I don't know how to listen to Big Brother. You should know that Big Brother is an immortal level powerhouse. So they all agreed in unison. The flying shuttle has a bright silver surface with rhythmic radiance, and after a flash of light, it once again disappears into the dark universe. And the direction the monsters are heading is the Central Star River. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Fulong Tower. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Fulong Tower Macho Star. Longming has opened the chat group functions one by one and is preparing to challenge the secret realm of passing levels. At this moment, a sound came from outside the door. Holy Lord, the standard weapon you requested has been delivered to Alan Star. Do you think we should deliver it to you? Well, no need, just leave it there. Please inform the person in charge over there and I will go and pick it up right away. Yes. Standard weapons were prepared by Long Ming when he saw the pawn function in the chat group. He wanted to see how many points those standard equipment could earn. The guards of the Imperial Capital Star hold refined equipment, and he is reluctant to pawn those good things, so he can only send a batch of standard equipment from a more distant planet. Upon hearing that something had arrived at Alangsing, Long Ming decided to go and get the standard equipment first, and then closed the chat group. His body, sitting cross-legged, flickered with a faint light, and he disappeared into place. Alan's star, the auxiliary star of the Imperial Capital, is over 300 light-years away from Machio star. It would be too slow to deliver it, at least a few hours. It's better to go and collect it yourself. Teleportation, 1 light-year at a time, 1 go at a time, and 600 repetitions are enough. Dolua Xiaolu Divine Realm. Tang San's face was gloomy, still feeling stuffy. At the entrance of the Divine King Temple, Xiaowu, who had just been invited by the Divine Attendant, looked at the mess on the ground and couldn't help but ask, "Brother San, what's wrong?" Tang San ignored Xiaowu. Because at this moment, he saw a change in the chat group. Secret Realm. Fulong Pagoda has been opened. For details, please click to view. The chat group mall has been opened. For details, please click to view. The martial arts arena function has been activated. For details, please click to view. Looking at the 3 prompt messages from Dalala, Tang San instinctively clicked to check the Fulong Tower. Upon reviewing the details and gaining some understanding, Tang San couldn't help but feel delighted. As long as you successfully pass the level, you can earn points, right? The points have settled down. Integral, time travel. Great, you guys wait for this Divine King. The little dance on the side, watching her husband go from being angry at the beginning to laughing inexplicably, couldn't help but feel a bit worried. She quickly expressed concern and said, "San Gu." "Xiaowu, I'm fine, I'll explain to you later." Tang San interrupted Xiaowu, his tone also softened. For Xiaowu, who has been accompanying him all along, Tang San can still restrain some emotions. After calming Xiaowu a little, Tang San ignored it and directly clicked on the Fulong Tower challenge option. With a buzzing sound, Tang San disappeared into place. Without fancy special effects, it suddenly disappeared. Tang San's sudden disappearance startled Xiaowu beside her, and she wanted to find advice from her 7 monsters friend. But when she remembered her husband's words earlier, Xiaowu could only wait anxiously in place. "Brother San, please don't have anything to do." No matter what happened in the divine realm outside, Tang San was teleported to a tall tower at this moment. A magnificent tower, with no visible top at a glance. The body of the tower dances with clouds, dragons, and phoenixes, surrounded by endless breath, solemn and solemn. For a moment, Tang San was captured by the grandeur of the tower, and his arrogant expression converged a lot. Looking towards the 2 stone tablets standing at the main entrance. The vastness enters the sky. On the boundless blue sky. In just a few words, I looked down at Huanyu. Tang San only glanced at it and felt his spirit was a bit wandering, so he quickly shifted his gaze away. Be careful to cross the stone tablet and come to the main gate. The 3 characters, Fulong Pagoda, are written on the gate, and the ancient and rustic atmosphere on it also makes Tang San dare not look directly at it. The continuous shock made Tang San realize that the Fulong Pagoda in front of him was a good thing. Such a divine object must find an opportunity to reclaim the Dolua divine realm. At that time, I see who dares to resist this divine king. Seeing the good thing, Tang San's long-standing possessiveness was crazily filled with all his limbs and bones. You should know that in the divine realm, with the god of destruction as the leader, there are many gods opposing Tang San. Challenge. Tang San confidently confirmed in front of the tower. Confirmed, Tang San was instantly teleported to a vast plain. As soon as Tang San stood still, he saw a vast expanse of smoke and dust rising from the end of the plane. Here we go. Tang San's martial souls were fully opened, and 10 blood-red soul rings spun rapidly. The 10 soul rings that shimmer with gold and the red are his masterpiece in slaying disobedient gods after becoming a divine king. So, Tang San's left hand was the Shura divine sword, and his right hand was the blue-silver grass, staring intently ahead. Tang San knew that there were a large number of monsters in the smoke and dust. According to the rules, only by killing all of them can he successfully pass the level. 10,000 beasts gallop. In no time, Beast Tide came to Tang San. Facing the ferocious monsters with fangs all over the front row, Tang San calmly used his skilled soul skill. The blue-silver prison. 10 tall blue and black prison cages suddenly appeared, trapping the monster charging at the front. But unfortunately, the blue-silver prison was only blocked for a moment before being broken by the monster. Tang San saw that the blue-silver prison was not working, so he naturally did not believe in evil. He let out a muffled snort to stir up his soul power again, and with a wave of his right hand, he used another move of blue-silver entanglement. However, the performance of blue-silver entanglement is even worse. Blue-silver prison can still block a moment, and blue-silver entanglement is directly ignored by monsters. Neither of the two signature soul skills worked. And the monster has also killed itself. Tang San couldn't help but freeze his expression. He knew he had underestimated the enemy a bit, so he immediately exerted force under his feet and jumped high to avoid the monster's bloody jaws. On the first floor of the Fulong Tower, there is a no-air rule, so Tang San cannot fly. In mid-air, taking advantage of the gap in the stagnant air, Tang San gathered his strength and threw the fifth soul skill, the blue-silver Emperor Spear. With a popping sound, 3 monsters were strung in one shot. Seeing that the weapon attack was effective, Tang San didn't care about being reserved. He had a Shura divine sword in his left hand, a sea god trident in his right hand, and an 8-spider spear with spreading wings on his back. He unleashed all his firepower and entered the Beast Tide. 2 hours later. The vast plain is now devoid of the presence of monsters. On a scorched black land, Tang San was panting heavily. At this moment, his clothes were in tattered condition, his face had several bloodlines, his right eye was hollow, and not far away were the broken Shura divine sword and sea god trident, and even further away were some unknown damaged artifacts. Tang San leaned his entire body against the towering Haotian hammer. If it weren't for the indestructible nature of his martial soul, the Haotian hammer would probably not have been able to be preserved. Looking at the open plain, Tang San's face showed a strange smile. He succeeded, using all his moves, including hidden weapons, soul skills, explosive rings, and soul bone skills. In the end, he dragged the last monster to death with his blue-silver true body. At this moment, a voice rang out in Tang San's mind. Congratulations on your successful challenge. May I ask if you want to challenge the next level? With the sound, Tang San's body was enveloped by a burst of light, and after the light, his injuries healed. This is also the reason why Tang San dared to exhaust everything. As long as you successfully pass the level in the Fulong Tower's secret realm, everything will be restored to its original state. If you fail, your spirit will only weaken for a period of time, without any worries about your life. On the plain, Tang San held the Shura divine sword and confidently clicked to confirm and challenge the next level. The second floor of the Fulong Tower. Tang San had just been teleported over and had just stabilized. Before he could even check the situation around him, he saw a beam of light flash by. At the next moment, Tang San was kicked out of the second floor of the Fulong Pagoda. Reminder sounds also come to mind. Failed to pass the level, please keep working hard. Tang San looked at the prompt of failing to pass the level, feeling a bit confused. So, why did he fail without doing anything? I want to challenge again immediately. Sorry, unable to enter the challenge after strength evaluation. If you need a challenge, Please come back in a year. After trying several times in a row, all he got was to come back a year later. Tang San, intimidated by the momentum of the dragon subduing pagoda, dared not act recklessly in front of the tower, and could only leave the secret realm with curses in his heart. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. A New Look. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. A New Look. When Tang San challenged the Fulong Tower, Long Ming had already fought back and forth between Macho Star and Alan Star, bringing back the 1 million standard equipment. 0.1 points per piece of standard equipment. In the lounge, Long Ming looked at the pawn redemption displayed on the chat group panel and always felt a bit at a loss. However, according to the introduction, it can be used as a good identification function. A piece of equipment only has 0.1 points. Although standard equipment is relatively cheap, it can only be exchanged for such a small amount, which is undoubtedly a loss. It's just an emergency or something, and this is still a 10% bonus for him as the group leader, worth 0.1 points. Is it possible that there is a decimal point at the end, rounded off? Ma Air Pinxie exclusive chat group. If calculated like this, refined equipment with a cost 10 times that of standard equipment can only be pawned as 1 point points. It's a bit dark. Since that's the case, let's exchange 100,000 units of standard equipment first. Ding! Redemption successful, points increase by 11010. As Long Ming issued the redemption order, he lost 100,000 standard equipment in his world ring, and his chat group account increased by 11,010 points. Ting Yang, it's really a limited edition of the competition. Long Ming can't help roast when looking at the 10 points behind. Perhaps it can only be used as an identification function. Just as Long Ming Pawn was exchanging 100,000 standard equipment, the chat group mall suddenly refreshed. The chat group mall has refreshed, and as the group leader, Long Ming naturally received a notification. Open the mall interface. Similar to the interface of the game Treasure Pavilion, a previously empty mall now displays a product. Wanjia Mall. New items are listed. Excellent standard equipment. 10 points per piece, a total of 100,000 pieces. What? Long Ming took a mouthful of old blood and realized that he had been cheated by Ga Jyotsai. Is it appropriate to join a chat group, deceive, and ambush this 10-million-year-old man? These equipment, with 100,000 units left, are clearly the ones he just pawned and exchanged. By adding the word excellent in front, the price skyrocketed 100 times. Long Ming, who never gave up, clicked to make a purchase. A weapon appeared out of thin air in Long Ming's hand. Damn it! Long Ming looked at the standard equipment in his hand and slammed it to the ground. This is what he just pawned and exchanged. Spicy Chicken Chat Group, are you shameless? Long Ming, who was covered in black lines, closed the mall and turned his gaze to Gu Xiaoluan, the three of them chatting in the chat group. Han Xiao and the others have finished reading their fantasy works about themselves, and at this moment, they are chatting aimlessly. Gu Xiaoluan. Hey, after reading that fantasy work record, I didn't expect to die in the end. Han Xiao said, Brother Gu Xiaoluan, since you know the ending, just avoid it. Extinguishing the tyrant. Facing death directly is a good way. In the world of the supernatural seminary, Gu Xiaoluan looked at Han Xiao and Mia Ba's replies and felt a bit confused for a moment. In the fantasy record, the black hole engine of King Huaya is too strong, and I have already done my best to fight with him to the death. Evasion, if one avoids, who will protect the blue star and who will protect humanity? Who will come, Guardian Yen? Perhaps, as Mia Ba said, facing death head-on is the ultimate destination for oneself. Let's all die together, at least we can still have a cushion. Gu Xiaoluan. And you guys, have you seen your final ending? Han Xiao said, I haven't finished reading it. I only saw the part where I am currently. Mia Ba. It's the same. Mia Ba. The outcome doesn't matter, I am fate, no one can stop me. Gu Xiaoluan said, wow, we agreed to boil baldness together, but you secretly baked oil. Gu Xiaoluan. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have looked back. Gu Xiaoluan was heartbroken, knowing the ending was really annoying. Also, brother Miaba, do you know how you are in grade 2? Han Xiao said, brother, it's okay to see the ending. Have you forgotten something? Gu Xiaoluan. What? Han Xiao said, join a chat group to know the ending. This also means that we can no longer follow the original timeline and butterfly effect. You should know that every small change and choice you make will affect the future. Han Xiao said, you just have fun watching the ending in the fantasy work. Kill the boss. Chat group, chance. Although Mia Ba doesn't speak much, he always gets to the point. Han Xiao said, brother Mia Ba is right. Chat groups are just opportunities. Have you read novels? Chat groups are our golden fingers. Do you understand life when you open cheats? Although I don't know your current strength, brother, I just took a look at the several functions opened in the chat group, such as the Fulong Pagoda, Secret Realm, the Martial Arts Arena, and the Mall, which are obviously places where you can improve your strength. Han Xiao spoke freely, which was also what he hoped for in his heart. The chat group functions looked very different, and being above A. level was not the end point he wanted. Miaba looked at Han Xiao's words and his pupils slightly narrowed. Previously, he had been dealing with the Legion's affairs since watching fantasy works, and did not go to see the newly opened chat group features. Now seeing Han Xiao's words, he also feels that it is time to improve his strength. Heavenly Father level strength. Although one is blessed by fate, there may be significant obstacles to completing their mission. Moreover, there are many powerful beings in the universe, such as the Heavenly God Group, the Olympian God System, and various gods in the universe, all of which disrupt the balance of the universe and need to be eliminated. Yes, with the addition of Mia Ba to the chat group, his vision has also broadened after watching fantasy works. His goal is no longer just half of the life in the universe. He realizes that as long as there is still powerful life, there will be no balance in the universe. The reason for this is, of course, because Long Ming uploaded the Marvel Universe Encyclopedia. If it weren't for some hesitation, Long Ming would have wanted to upload the complete encyclopedia of the neighboring DC universe as well. Having gained insight into the truth of the universe is undoubtedly a way to strengthen one's own beliefs. Long Ming, who had been watching on the screen all the time, admired Han Zhao's speech and was truly the one he had the most confidence in among the 4 people in the group. To be honest, Long Ming didn't think there was anything unexpected about Technician Han's realization. As for Mia Ba, who also chose not to see his own ending, it was a new look. Is it truly worthy of conquering the existence of the Obsidian 5 generals through personal charm? Interesting. Long Ming. At Gu Xiaoluan, a batch of weapons have been launched in the chat group mall, which will be helpful to you. Gu Xiaoluan, Miaba, and Han Xiao. Hello, group leader. Unexpectedly, their casual conversation exploded the group leader, and the 3 of them spoke and asked questions one by one. When Gu Xiaoluan heard that there were weapons in the mall that could help him, he immediately opened the mall to check. Gu Xiaoluan. Thank you, group leader. This weapon is really great. Gu Xiaoluan spent all his points to buy 6 weapons and discovered that they were actually some divine killing weapons. Looking at the remaining over 90,000 weapons in the mall, Gu Xiaoluan was about to burst into tears at this moment. Blue Star technology is backward, and raw materials are extremely scarce. It is extremely difficult to build a god-killing weapon, but I didn't expect there to be so many in the mall. As long as there is enough divine killing force, he guarantees to completely eradicate the evil gluttony. Integral, integral, integral. On the Mangdangshan ship of the Chaos Hen Academy, Gu Xiaoluan's eyes were red, with only 2 words left in his heart. Points. Long Ming said, Xiaoluan points can be obtained. You can try to pass levels in the secret realm. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Group Member Strength. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Group Member Strength. Long Ming could easily guess from the information revealed by Gu Xiaoluan during his casual conversation that he was still indulging in gluttony. So kindly guide Gu Xiaoluan. Seeing that Gu Xiaoluan had already gone to pass the level, Long Ming turned his gaze back to Han Xiao and Mia Ba. Long Ming said, Han Xiao, you can also go and pass the levels to see how many levels you can pass. Long Ming said, the higher the number of floors, the better things the mall can buy. Although Long Ming has not yet gone through the levels, he still has the group leader's permission to know a lot of information. The pawn function is extremely black, and the points given by the check that IN function are chicken shreds. Breaking through the levels of Fulong Tower will undoubtedly be the top priority for group members to earn points in the future. Mia Ba said, thank you, group leader. After I finish my work, I will go and give it a try. Han Xiao. Okay, I'll go later. Group leader, Han Xiao has a heartless request. I hope you can agree. Long Ming. What's going on? Why don't you talk about it? Long Ming is curious about Han Xiao's request. Just about to go offline, Mia Ba's face was also full of curiosity. The group leader is too mysterious, and the destroyer dare not act recklessly. He originally planned to wait until he finished his work, and then see his group friend Gu Xiaoluan's progress in passing the level before going to pass it himself. Now seeing Han Xiao's actions, Mia Ba decided to stay and take a look. Han Xiao said, can you come to the martial arts arena to give me some guidance? Long Ming said, no problem, come with me to eliminate the boss. After speaking, Long Ming spent 100 points to open the martial arts arena. A void portal appeared in front of Long Ming, and a thunderbolt could be faintly seen across from the portal. Long Ming's mind scanned back and forth several times, but did not notice how this portal appeared. He no longer hesitated and walked step by step into the portal. After unsuccessful exploration, the other two Han Xiao also entered the portal. Eliminating the tyrant was different. At first, he was very shocked when he saw Long Ming calling him to join. However, after thinking for a few moments, he made up his mind to participate. It's perfect to test the strength of the group leader. 3 people entered the martial arts arena. In the martial arts arena. After a moment of relaxation, Han Xiao observed the situation around him and saw a tall purple figure standing next to him. Although he had seen many aliens, it was still the first time he had seen someone all purple. This person in front of me looks a bit like a purple potato spirit. Han Xiao guessed that he had destroyed the tyrant. Sure enough, after greeting each other and knowing each other's identities, the two continued to observe the martial arts scene. After some observation. For the martial arts arena, Han Xiao and Mia Ba were both shocked. They didn't expect that the arena would be incredibly large, and it would be a medium-sized planet. Long Ming has no sensation, is it just a medium-sized planet? Han Xiao, this is the first time we've met, isn't it? Long Ming smiled as he saw their expressions settle slightly. Let me reintroduce myself. I am Long Ming, the Holy Lord of the Sun and Moon Empire, with immortal power as a title. Hello group leader, I am Han Xiao with quasi-S. level strength. Hello everyone, I am Mia Ba with Heavenly Father level strength. Upon hearing Long Ming's self-introduction, Han Xiao thought of many things and said, the Immortal King, Immortal, eternal chat group of all heavens. The group leader is probably the kind of eternal and immortal existence, I don't know how strong it is. Thinking of this, Han Xiao's heart was filled with passion. Okay, no need to be polite. Would you two come together or one by one? Han Xiao looked at each other and nodded. The group leader has extraordinary strength, let's go together. Well, let's take action first. Upon hearing Long Ming's words, Han Xiao was not polite either. His skills were thrown wildly, and the sky was filled with mechanical creations that covered 100 miles of space. Eliminating the tyrant is different. There are not too many gorgeous moves. He only saw a purple light shining around his body, but it activated the power gem and raised his fist to charge towards the Dragon Ming standing in the center. After optimizing the chat group, Infinite Gem can be used in the martial arts arena. Otherwise, relying on the attribute of infinite gems becoming useless when they leave this universe, the power of annihilating dominance will be cut a few times. Long Ming did not dodge the attacks of the two and stood in place to resist. This kind of pediatric attack cannot break his defense at all. Han Zhao's sudden attack made Long Ming feel a bit itchy, but he still guided the two while enduring the attack. After more than 10 minutes of indiscriminate bombing by the two, Long Ming chose to end the battle. A battle with vastly different strengths does not benefit the two of them much. Bare-formed, he bullied two people in front of each other, and Bang Bang ended the battle with one punch. The speed was extremely fast, and Han Zhao and his companions only felt the darkness in front of them before fainting. After this battle, Long Ming had a rough understanding of the strength of the group members. Among the 4 people currently in the group, it goes without saying that Tang San has the worst strength. In the Hydrogen continent, ordinary people in the Sun and Moon Empire used to be able to ruthlessly kill their gods. As for Tang San, the God King, at most, he can only force his star rating. The Divine King who can be threatened by the wind blowing out of a space storm is a joke no matter how it looks. Next is Gu Xiaoluan, who loads a male core and can utilize stellar energy. After calculation, there may be a peak of star level, close to stellar level. Next is the destruction of dominance, an infinite gemstone that is a regular treasure. Mastering the infinite gemstone, mastering the power of rules, and adding to one's own strength, one can barely be considered a domain master level powerhouse. If one can fully control 5 infinite gemstones, their strength will be even stronger. But the infinite gem is ultimately an external object, and relying on external objects can never reach the immortal level. The realm master level is the limit. Finally, there is Han Zhao. After this martial arts performance, the strength he demonstrated and the power of the moves he released were decent, but his physical strength was average. If he could make up for this weakness, the strength of the world master level would not be a problem. Thank you for the guidance from the group leader. Han Zhao and Mieba regained consciousness, took a moment to recover, and walked up to Long Ming, bowing and bowing. Long Ming's meticulous guidance over the past 10 minutes has greatly benefited them. The two of them discovered many of their shortcomings, and it can be said that Long Ming's guidance was better than their own years of hard work. They are willing to bow this bow. Small matter, among the few of you, Han Zhao, I have the most optimistic view of you. I hope you can work hard. Long Ming nodded, indicating that there was no need to be polite. You're not bad either. I hope you can break free from shackles and elevate yourself to the fullest. As you said, the outcome doesn't matter. I have great confidence in both of you. Let's work hard to improve our strength. The chat group is a rare opportunity. Perhaps now there are only a few of us, and it may not be possible in the future. Also, you don't want to be the bottom one, right? I've said too much, that's it. Long Ming waved his hand and withdrew from the martial arts arena. As Long Ming left, the remaining members of the martial arts arena, Han Zhao and Mieba, exchanged a glance and saw a strong sense of war in each other's eyes. There is no need to stay overnight to verify the gains just now. Both of them understood each other's meaning and tacitly distanced themselves. One left and one right. War. War. The outcome of the battle between Han Zhao and Mieba is unknown to anyone. Just after the two of them finished fighting and each returned to their own world. Han Zhao shouted a few times, "Don't worry about the road ahead, don't worry about the road ahead." He has found the direction to move forward. After confessing to several women from Aurora, she entered a state of seclusion. When he breaks the level, it is the moment when he achieves a Super A. level. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. One Palm Strike to Death. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. One Palm Strike to Death, Tip. You are in a forbidden state and cannot send messages. Prohibition remaining time. 14 hours and 34 minutes. In the Dolua Divine Realm, Tang San, who was peering on the screen, saw Gu Xiaoluan say that his ending was going to die. His face was full of disdain, and his heart was filled with contempt and ridicule. Ordinary people are just ordinary people. How can they coexist with this divine king? Later on, when he saw Long Ming talking about letting the mortal with a dying ending challenge the Fulong Tower, he was in a good mood and wanted to advise a few mortals not to overestimate themselves. The result is obvious. As soon as the message was sent, I received a heartless reminder from the chat group and was still in a state of silence. As for why Tang San was in such a good mood, it all had to go back half an hour. At that time, Tang San had just been kicked out of the second floor of the Fulong Pagoda, and cursed as he exited the secret realm and returned to the Divine King Hall. Just as he calmed Xiaowu, Tang San heard the prompt message from the chat group. Congratulations on completing the first level of the Dragon Tower. Reward 500 points and any soul ring will be promoted to a 1,000,000-year soul ring. Congratulations on completing the first level of Fulong Tower. Unlock the purchasing permission for products on the first level of Fulong Tower in the chat group mall. As you are the first person to pass the level, a special reward of 500 points will be given. May I ask if you have received the reward? The prompt sound of this chat group sounded like a fairy in Tang San's ears, promoting him to a 1,000,000-year soul ring. This was what he had always dreamed of. In order to promote his soul ring, he put in a lot of effort and killed countless disobedient gods, but to this day, he still hasn't succeeded. Tang San could not have imagined that there would be such a generous reward just by completing the first level of the Fulong Pagoda. Immediately shouted, "Claim it." If I hadn't collected it in time, I would have almost shouted out loud. It can be seen how happy his heart is, with a smile on his gloomy face almost reaching his ears. Upon receiving the reward, Tang San did not hesitate to give his wife the promotion opportunity. Needless to say, he still loves his wife very much. As Tang San gave instructions, the color of the sixth soul ring of the surrounding blue-silver grass quickly deepened, and a touch of gold gradually appeared from the edge. In no time, the entire soul ring was dyed with gold, completely turning into crimson gold. 1,000,000-year soul ring promotion succeeded. Feeling the cultivation improvement brought by the promotion of the soul ring, Tang San felt a moment of relief. My strength has improved by at least 10%. Tang San clenched his fist in the void, feeling the power brought by the 1,000,000-year soul ring. Sure enough, these eternal chat groups belong to this divine king. After experiencing the increased strength, Tang San quickly checked the skills added to his wife's promotion. Previously, his sixth soul ring had a void effect and was immune to 50% soul power attacks. I have been promoted for millions of years now, and the skills born will definitely not be weak. My wife's ring is the most suitable for me, and my abilities are still strong. This is also the main reason why he wants to promote the sixth soul ring. Unfold the sixth soul ring, and a new skill is displayed on it. Resurrection. When activated and dealing fatal damage, resurrect once within the acceptable range without damage, with a cooldown of 1 year. This divine king is invincible. Tang San shouted with great enthusiasm as he watched the newly added skills. God of Destruction, you can't hide for long. With this resurrection skill, Tang San has confidence in killing the God of Destruction and the group of gods he leads. At that time, the entire divine realm will be led by oneself, and no one dares to disobey their commands. The more Tang San thought about it, the happier he felt, as if everything was under control. So there was the news of Tang San sending messages later on. Returning to the present, Tang San was very unhappy as he watched the countdown of the forbidden words on the chat group interface. Damn mortals, why ban this divine king? It must be that ordinary person who is jealous of this divine king. Tang San looked at the name with a yellow mark on the group member list, and the more he looked at it, the more unpleasant it became. Mortal, your deadline has come. Tang San glanced at the chat group's point account, with 1001 points. If he remembers correctly, it only takes 1000 points to travel to the world of the so-called group leader. Very good, mortal, don't blame this divine king for being ruthless. Tang San muttered to himself and clicked the purchase button for the time travel symbol. The benefits brought to him by completing the first level of the Fulong Tower are simply too great. After receiving the reward on the first floor of the Dragon Tower, Tang San kept having a thought in his mind, whether as long as he killed a few mortals one by one, the chat group would only belong to him. The chat group belongs only to oneself, and at that time, the artifact of the Dragon Tower will also be one's private property. There are also things in the chat group mall, which also make Tang San very envious. However, because the lowest price requires tens of thousands of points, he cannot afford them temporarily. A few lucky mortals. Tang San's eyes were bright red, and he could no longer suppress his possessiveness. Endless greed devoured the last shred of rationality of the divine king. Reciting silently, time travel. Macho star. The dragon sings in the water pavilion. Long Ming returned from the chat group martial arts scene for a while and thought about verifying the strength of Han Xiao and Mia Ba just now. He was thinking about whether to give the group members a strength level division so that they can better recognize their strength. It's not a big deal now that there are fewer group members. In the future, there will be more members in the group, and as the forest grows, there will be all kinds of birds. If some people go beyond their means and provoke people they shouldn't, it won't end well. With strength certification, those sharp tongues will also consciously restrain themselves, and he doesn't want the chat group to become chaotic. For this, Long Ming consulted several chat groups to see if it could help verify the strength of group members, but all he received were, "Please explore on your own," responses. The certification team members' abilities cannot be achieved, and they are indeed a spicy chicken chat group. How about verifying strength based on passing through the Fulong Tower? Long Ming thought of passing through the secret realm and realized that it might be a good way, but he hasn't gone through the level yet, and it's unclear how good the Fulong Tower is. All of this will have to wait for him to pass the level and verify before he can draw a conclusion. Suddenly, Long Ming, who was lost in thought, was interrupted by a chat group message. Group member Shen Wang Tang San has used a time travel symbol and applied to travel to your world. May I ask if it is allowed? The use of traversal symbols to traverse the world of group members requires the consent of the traverser. Long Ming ordered permission, but he wanted to see what the Hydrogen God King wanted to do. Just after agreeing, a portal similar to opening a martial arts arena appeared in front of him. Long Ming looked at the teleportation gate and with a hint of inspiration, he scanned the other side of the gate, and across from him, Dolua Xiaolu could see everything. Indeed, it is a hydrogen continent. Feeling the fragile and unbearable aura across from him, Long Ming withdrew his mind with a lack of interest. At first, he had a slight expectation, hoping that the opposite side wouldn't be too bad. After all, there is a martial soul that he claims will never be destroyed, which he is still very interested in. Just for now, that's all. The indestructible spirit of martial arts is clear about its principle after being swept by the dragon's voice. The spirit of martial arts is a chicken rib, which means that it can be used as an apprentice, but beyond it is pure waste dim sum. At this moment, the portal lit up with a glow, and Tang San's figure walked out of the portal. As soon as Tang San came out and saw the dragon crowing in the room, he arrogantly said, "Ordinary people, why don't you kneel when you see this divine king?" "Humph, mortal, give up the chat group to my god king, I'll spare you." Before he could finish speaking, he was greeted with a slap from the god king Tang San, who was worth 2 to 5 to 8,000 yuan. Long Ming lightly slapped Tang San and wiped him out. Without sacrificing one's ambition, he died first, and a generation of the God King who collided with the wall fell from grace. Originally, Long Ming was not fond of Tang San, but now this little rascal dares to speak wildly, wanting to know how to write the word death. Oh. Do you want to say that Tang San's newly acquired skills have been revived? Sorry, Long Ming's slap was not within his tolerance. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Ziyang Spear Saint. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Ziyang Spear Saint, why can't you handle yourself clearly? If you keep having such foolishness in the future, you'll have to be annoyed to death. Sure enough, it's urgent to certify the strength of the group members. Long Ming raised his hand and waved, opening all the doors and windows of the room. Then, his thin lips parted slightly and he let out a light breath. The wind blew out that ominous aura. Watching Tang San's explosive equipment, Long Ming waved his hand again to gather the scattered equipment on the ground and threw it into the open portal. After finishing all of this, he ordered the chat group to close the portal. He had no interest in Dolua Xiaolu and did not want to pay attention to the turbulence caused by the fall of the Divine King on the opposite side. It's already fate that he didn't vent his anger on Dolua Xiaolu. Warning. The group member God King Tang San has fallen. Warning. The group member God King Tang San has fallen. Warning. The group member God King Tang San has fallen. The chat group issued 3 consecutive red warnings. The other 3 people in the group ignored Tang San's fall. One reason was that Tang San spoke wildly as soon as he joined the group, which angered everyone. The second reason is that all 3 of them are busy with their own affairs. Gu Xiaoluan is passing through the Fulong Pagoda, Han Xiao is breaking through the closed door, and exterminating the boss is handling their affairs offline. So no one cares about Tang San's life or death. Do you want to kick Tang San, the group member, out of the group chat? Kicked. The chat group member pulling function is currently cooling and charging. Please try again later. After kicking Tang San, whose avatar had turned gray, Long Ming wanted to see if he could bring in another person to fill the vacancy, but it was clearly not possible. If it's not possible, then it's not possible. Long Ming was already prepared for the chat group sparsity. It's annoying when the charging doesn't show a progress bar. After complaining, Long Ming summoned up the chat group function panel and clicked to challenge the secret realm. In front of the Fulong Tower. Facing the towering and vast Fulong Pagoda. Long Ming felt the majesty and terror of the tower differently from Tang San. He felt the faint aura of law emanating from the tower. The law of light shining brightly in a flash. The law of roaring, bursting, and surging storms. The power of 10,000 June tears apart the thunderous law of darkness. The law of the 5 elements that constantly circulate and thrive. There are also the ripples that occasionally appear on the top of the tower, and a long river that occasionally ripples upon closer observation. That's definitely the law of space and time. Seeing this, Long Ming's eyes couldn't help but freeze. As the immortal king of space, he was familiar with the law aura emanating from that elusive space. As for the law of time, it was too profound and obscure, far beyond what Long Ming could explore now. He just glanced at it a few more times and felt like he had passed away. At this moment, Long Ming was very shocked in his heart because he couldn't believe that the Fulong Pagoda contained 8 subordinate laws, and even the 2 superior laws of time and space were circulating at the top of the tower. In fact, there are not only these 10 laws circulating around the tower body, but also more obscure and difficult to understand laws lingering around the tower body. Spicy Chicken Chat Group, why didn't you come earlier? Long Ming sighed heavily. If the chat group had come over earlier, he wouldn't have wasted so much time. If he had been exposed to the Fulong Tower early in the morning. It's not that Long Ming boasted, he can definitely achieve immortality as a king within 1 million years. The laws governing the circulation of the tower body are much clearer than the laws of perception at the realm master level. However, it's not too late now. Long Ming looked at the law in front of him and drooled greedily. He wants all these rules. No one leads the way, so I'll figure out a path by myself. Long Ming firmly believes that when the 10 principles are combined, one's cultivation can definitely reach a higher level. Suppressing the reluctance in his heart, Long Ming walked to the gate of the tower and directly chose to challenge. 1 layer. 2 layers. 3 layers. Long Ming was unstoppable all the way and quickly challenged himself to climb to the 51st floor. As soon as he stepped onto the 51st floor, Long Ming felt a bit different. The space on the 51st floor was not large, and the air was filled with a peaceful atmosphere, completely lacking the tense atmosphere of the previous 50 floors. On the first 50 floors, there were overwhelming monster attacks, and Long Ming was numb to death. Now that the space on the 51st floor has become smaller, it means that we cannot play kite flows like the previous floors, we can only fight hard and fight tough battles. Just as Long Ming was still curious about where the guarding monster on the 51st floor was, suddenly a voice came from a small wooden house not far away. Single shot questioning, only I, the purple sun, cover the sun. Walking alone in the heavens, laughing at me for devouring the stars and annihilating the derivatives, little friend, you came to pass the level and haven't seen anyone for a long time. Long Ming pushed open the wooden door and saw a thin old man lying on the bed of the wooden house. From the old man, Long Ming didn't feel any breath, just like an ordinary old man who couldn't be more ordinary, but how could he be an ordinary person on the 51st floor of the Fulong Tower? Young generation Long Ming has met senior generation, and I am the one who came to pass the level. Upon hearing Long Ming's reply, the old man turned around and opened his eyes, which were indescribable. Just one glance made Long Ming feel completely understood. But this feeling quickly faded, and Long Ming looked at the old man again with a slight difference. Although he was right in front of him, it seemed like countless worlds were separated, and everything was so elusive and elusive. I, the Spear Saint Ziyang, have been appointed as the gatekeeper of the 51st to 60th floors of the Fulong Pagoda. Senior Ziyang, I don't know. Cough cough, just think of me as an artificial intelligence, yes, that's artificial intelligence. There were actually living people inside the Fulong Pagoda, and Long Ming was full of doubts. Just as he was about to inquire about the origin of the old man, he was stopped halfway by the old man shaking his hand. This was not because Long Ming stopped himself, but because he was suppressed by the old man named Ziyang in front of him and unable to speak the following words. Little one, let me introduce you to the rules of passing levels. 1 level of success from me is equivalent to the 51st level. After that, every additional 10% of my skill used represents the next level, until you defeat the 10th level of success from me, even if you pass the 60th level. Do you understand? The old man from Ziyang explained it very clearly, but Long Ming had some doubts about his strength. Just now, he could suppress his own existence by waving his hand. With 10 successful abilities, is this what he can currently withstand? You should know that he is not an ordinary immortal, a military lord immortal, or a marquis immortal, but a marquis immortal who has truly comprehended a spatial skill. As an immortal and theft king, I didn't show any resistance in front of the old man just now, and I was even suppressed before I even realized it. Suppress, don't let yourself ask, is there any secret that can't be solved? If you can't figure it out, stop thinking too much. Master Ziyang said that 1 level of success represents 1 level, Long Ming murmured softly as he thought of what the old man had said. Based on the 50 levels he has previously crossed, it should be a grand realm corresponding to every 10 levels. Floors 1.10 represent row star level, 11.20 represent star level, 21.30 represent universe level, 31.40 represent domain level, and 41.50 represent boundary level. According to reason, 51.60 should be an immortal level, but based on the current situation, is the upper limit of this immortal level so high? Upon careful consideration and extreme fear, Long Ming quickly set aside his distractions and stopped thinking too much. He could challenge as much as he could. Invincible for thousands of years, coupled with being promoted to immortality 10,000 years ago, it's perfect to have an opponent to test your current strength. Understood. Please teach me, Senior. Long Ming took out his weapon and bowed his hand. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Breathing Cool, Show. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Breathing Cool, Show, Great, there's no fear before battle. The Purple Sun Spear Saint looked at Long Ming, who was dressed in blue and white armor with a strong sense of war. He nodded in satisfaction and stood up to pull out the clothes-supporting rod placed at the head of the bed. With a gentle swing, the clothes-supporting rod took off its disguise and turned into a long purple spear that revealed its green light. Treasures obscure themselves. Long Ming's eyebrows and eyes froze, and his expression became serious. Since entering this small wooden house, he has not noticed this treasure. Looking at the restored long spear, its aura is no less than his own, and it is definitely a formidable weapon. The aura of a weapon is comparable to that of an immortal king, which is terrifying to think of, let alone the person who holds it. Ziyang Gun Saint didn't care what Long Ming was thinking. He swung his long spear towards him, and Long Ming, who was standing across from him, only noticed a wave of space. In the next moment, the two of them left the small wooden house and appeared by a small river 10 miles away. What a move to change shape and shadow. Long Ming secretly praised the control of space by the Purple Sun Spear Saint in his heart. If it weren't for his proficiency in spatial laws, he probably wouldn't have discovered the skill of the Purple Sun Spear Saint. Kid, you have to be careful. Once I succeed, I will do my best. Over the small river, the two faced off across the bank, and the Purple Sun Spear Saint reminded him with his guns in both hands. Is success also full effort? Long Ming is a bit unclear. But for this, he will soon taste it. The Purple Sun Spear Saint did not exchange much greetings, nor did he wait for Long Ming to ask questions. A dodge had already attacked Long Ming. The sudden attack left Long Ming unable to react in time, and he could only dodge a long shot in a blink of an eye. Because the space on the 51st floor is not large, there are not many places to choose from for teleportation. Just teleported a few miles away. For someone as strong as them, it's time to blink a few miles away. Sure enough, as soon as Long Ming stood still, he was caught up by the Purple Sun Spear Saint with just one breath. Next, he was greeted by a flurry of gun shadows, continuous attacks like venomous snakes spitting out messages, each strike extremely cunning and mysterious. The shadow of the gun is continuous and airtight, resembling a deadly web, covering the sky with the sound of the dragon. The space in all directions was stirred by the long spear in the hands of the Purple Sun Spear Saint, causing chaos between yin and yang. Ding! Without noticing, the tip of the gun brushed against the dragon's battle armor, sparking golden sparks. Long Ming's eyes couldn't help but pause. He couldn't imagine that the Purple Sun Spear Saint would be so fierce when he first came up. No wonder his success was also his full strength. Fortunately, Long Ming had sufficient reaction this time. He held the dragon's scale sword in his right hand, slapped it horizontally with his left palm, fired the long spear towards his eyebrows, and then jumped back on his side. His right hand did not stop, but he rotated the sword and pulled a sword flower. The dragon's scale sword was a weapon he had crafted himself, following him for millions of years and fighting countless battles together. Faced with the attack of the Ziyang Spear Saint Jiao, Long Ming fought and retreated, his hand movements quickened, and sword flowers emerged one after another, occupying all directions. The sword flowers condensed but did not disperse, gathering more and more, and the surrounding space faintly showed a hint of awe. In no time, a hint of joy flashed on Long Ming's face. It's done. Seeing the Purple Sun Spear Saint attacking again, this time Long Ming did not retreat. He calmly swept the blood-colored sword flowers of the dragon scale sword towards the front, covering the space in front of him with blood flowers. The sky was filled with blood, while also enveloping Long Ming in Ziyang's Spear Saint. Come up and open up, he wants to attack at lightning speed and end the battle as soon as possible. From this moment on, Long Ming officially launched a counterattack. This sword flower is the fearless sword realm created by Long Ming. As long as this sword flower persists, those within the sword realm can be fearless. He is going to beat the Purple Sun Spear Saint with one go. In the sword domain, the Purple Sun Spear Saint seems to know the dragon's abacus. His long spear in his hand fluctuates up and down, seeming disorganized, but with every thrust, it can lift a sword flower flying. In no time, the sword domain was forcefully carved out by it. This also means that Long Ming's wishful thinking has fallen through. Seeing the Purple Sun Spear Saint retreat from the sword domain, Long Ming gained momentum without mercy, his divine power surged, and he flew with the sword domain to catch up. There is a strong and unwavering momentum. Suddenly, the retreating Ziyang Spear Saint stopped, turned around with guns in both hands, and then jumped up high. Long Ming felt a thump in his heart when he saw this, and it was not easy to fall for a trick. Previously, many sword flowers were picked up from the sword domain, but now they have not fully recovered. If you are hit hard, it is very likely that you will not be able to maintain it. At this point, there was no way to avoid it. Long Ming raised his dragon scale sword and he had to choose to fight hard. Apply force to your feet, stomp on the earth, and soar into the sky. Long Ming leapt up, intending to use a sword to break through the situation. He saw the dragon scale sword lingering with divine radiance, and for a moment, thunder and lightning struck, causing a stir in the wind and clouds. Ziyang. The sound of the dragon scale sword's gentle roar is clear and crisp. This sword is as graceful as a wandering dragon, with countless sword shadows and unparalleled sharpness. With the support of the majestic and abundant divine power, it moves forward without hesitation. Halfway through the air, the Purple Sun Spear Saint couldn't help but nod to himself when he saw how bloodthirsty Long Ming was. However, he did not continue to strike with this shot. Instead, he twisted the long spear in an extremely eerie posture and staggered the match. Now he only has 10% of his skills, and fighting hard is at a disadvantage. The attack fell through, causing Long Ming to feel an indescribable sense of frustration. He let out a long breath to stabilize his mind. But this also made the attack and defense easier. Flash and move, the two of them attack fiercely and deeply. Each collision of the gun and sword can create ripples. The 51st floor space also seems to have been blessed by special laws, and no matter how it is bombarded, the mountains and rivers remain unscathed, especially the small wooden house, which looked ordinary, surprisingly remained unscathed in a vibrant environment. I don't know how long it has been since the two of them came and went like this. Long Ming tried his best, but still couldn't capture the Purple Sun Spear Saint. At this moment, Long Ming's figure was swept away by a shot. But the Purple Sun Spear Saint did not pursue, only saw him standing firmly in place, closing his eyes tightly. With one hand holding the spear horizontally in front of him, and the other hand rubbing it against the barrel, countless runes appeared along with this stroke. After a few breaths, the Purple Sun Spear Saint suddenly opened his eyes and drank lightly. In an instant, white illusions appeared from behind the Purple Sun Spear Saint. Each of these illusions had an astonishing momentum, instantly trapping the inverted dragon's roar. There was no room for Long Ming to turn around, and a vast expanse of illusions simultaneously took action, each using different moves, such as chopping, stabbing, or flying guns. Long Ming looked at the shadows of guns in the sky, his forehead bulging. The dragon scale sword in hand kept dancing, which was enough to withstand the attack of the illusion. Without waiting for him to catch his breath, the Purple Sun Spear Saint rushed over and gave him a second yes. It was shot instantly. One shot was chilling. Then, in the playful expression of the Ziyang Spear Saint, Long Ming was kicked out of the 51st floor of the Fulong Tower. I'm not very good at martial arts, I actually started a fight. Long Ming was speechless outside the square of Fulong Tower. Unexpectedly, at the last moment, the Purple Sun Spear Saint opened wide. As the saying goes, 10 gunmen, 9 vegetables, and 1 is a pervert. How could you just encounter that pervert? Can't even defeat a single successful opponent, and will 90% of them use their heads to fight the rest? The final move of Zhu Tian Bowu should be the last move that the Purple Yang Spear Saint can use with his successful power. If his power is increased by a little more, it will definitely be 20% of his power. Long Ming looked back at the previous match and was amazed at the precision of the Purple Yang Spear Saint's power control. After the entire battle, it has to be said that the Ziyang Spear Saint is really strong. The 51.60 level is an immortal level, and with just one success, he can use all his means and even be defeated. This exhilarating battle also brought a lot of benefits to Long Ming. Fulong Pagoda, referring to the original work's Tongtian Bridge, you should understand that there is no need to worry about what immortality is like. End of this chapter.